Welcome to Learning as I Grow 365, a storytelling adventure. So, today I'm going to talk about, how, well, the other day I came fully prepared to tell the story about how we care about people and the whole concept of love languages. And I think my overarching thesis was that all types of love languages can be experienced by everyone. It's whether or not they're at that place in their life where they're able to receive it. And so we start out with their preference and we leave room for them to evolve as experience allows. And we are also supposed to be flexible in that regard to adapt as their needs change and shift and how they would appreciate our expression of caring. But then my 3 year old decided to take over the microphone, and I really thought about not sharing his recording, but then I wanted to sort of respect his own way of mirroring the things that he sees around him. And sometimes as parents, we use our own experiences to limit what our children experience and can do, for good reason, of course. But it got me to think about how I create space for my kids to explore different facets of themselves, including the mimicking and mirroring of the people in their community and them learning about themselves. And one thing has remained constant is it's either they'll keep doing it until they get bored, or they'll keep doing it until they become great at it. And that wasn't a part of the conversation I was planning to have about love languages, but it sort of has been in my mind about how we express acknowledgement of children and their curiosity and their keenness to learn things that sometimes we alienate them or we prevent them from engaging in because, you know, we don't think they have the capacity. And then when we give them the chance to show us, they blow us out of the water. And I think I was a very open-minded parent with my children, but I still see remnants of sort of limiting them within the confines of what my mind can conceive of them being capable of. And so the story tonight is just going out to parents in terms of it is hard. It's not easy. And so a lot of times the restrictions that we impose on our children comes from the restrictions that are imposed on our own lives, but by culture, by other kinds of obligations we have, so that children need to fit into the way of being that we afford them or curate for them. But ever so often, there are moments where we open up space for them to explore and be dynamic, be their dynamic selves. And they always amaze me, they always impress me in terms of all that they have to offer when given the space to do so. And so tonight, I'm just grateful that I have a community that will allow my children within reason to explore as much of themselves as possible. But I'm also in deep reflection in terms of what are the ways that I can make more room so that my kids can thrive to always be their best selves. And even as I say that, I'm thinking about this morning, the first thing as my 3-year-old woke up, came down and said, "Mommy, I want to talk in the microphone." And this is what I talk about when we talk about limiting our kids due to our own limited capacity. Because in that moment, I'm getting ready to take you to daycare so that I can, carry on with the adult responsibilities of the world. So how do we balance that? And the balance I have found so far is in a strong, reliable community. So even if you're not a parent, for yourself, accessing that kind of community support where you can have the confidence to try out different things and see whether you enjoy them or whether it's truly not for you in that moment. And if later on you decide to try it again, having that feeling that it's okay to try something that I once thought I did not like. And it may sound a little chaotic in terms of how my thoughts are coming out, but that's the same way I think of love languages. Because in this moment, I may only be able to appreciate acts of service due to whatever issues I have around the transactional nature of gift giving. But in another moment, in another evolution of myself, gift giving might be very relevant. And so let's not try to trap people in these little boxes of prescriptive ways of being and interacting, but allow room for them to challenge themselves and challenge you as they evolve and become different versions of themselves in the hope of becoming better versions of themselves. And here's my 3-year-old. Here you go.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, X, V, U, V, W, next time while we using the
Good job. Hey, that it?
Mm-hmm.